Good afternoon. Welcome to the Residents Association meeting. As usual, let me encourage you to silence your phones, and we need always to be reminded of the fire codes. In the event of fire alarm should sound, please remain in the auditorium and stay seated. Should there be a need to evacuate, a Springmore staff member will direct you to leave in an orderly fashion. Please remember not to use the elevators and go to a red pole once you're outside. So we're glad to have you here today. This is our last Residents Association meeting of the year. I would like to express my appreciation to you as a community for your support in my 2 years as president of the Residents Association. The executive committee has worked with me in very pleasant and I think productive ways. But it's not just the officers of the association that make it work. What really makes it work are all of the committees. There are about 20 committees and about 117 members of some committees that do the work of the Residents Association. If you are on a committee or have a volunteer in any way, would you raise your hand? As they say, it takes a village to raise a child or to run a community. So thanks for your support in so many, many ways. We have one announcement from Janet Carter, promotion of our Employees Association benefit.
Good afternoon. It is wonderful to see this crowd here. Let me just give you a little bit of information and refresh what you probably already know about our Employee Appreciation Project. That is our only opportunity during the year to share a financial gift with staff. So this is our opportunity. We are going to be receiving contributions through November 20th. That's 9 days from now, a week from this Wednesday. So if you have not participated yet and would like to, if you will just do so by next Wednesday, the 20th. You also should have received in your mailbox or either electronically your invitation to the reception where we'll share our gifts with the staff. Just as a reminder, it's Wednesday, December the 4th. In the morning, it's at South Village in the Terrace Room from 9 to 10:30. In the afternoon, it's here in this room from 2 o'clock to 3:30. And we really hope that you will be at one or both of those. It is a great opportunity to just share your holiday wishes and thanks with the staff. And thank you to those of you who have already participated.
Thank you, Janet, and hope we can count on your support for this important project. I'd like to recognize Jim Bundy, who is our vice president, who's been in charge of programs for this year, to express appreciation for what he's done for a great year of programs all the way through. And this is the grand finale. So, Jim, I introduce you.
Thank you very much, Alan. You never cease to amaze me that you have really filled up this auditorium once more for the programs that we're having, and I know why, because it's the program we're having this afternoon. I've been looking forward to it all year long. Before we do the program, I need to recognize 7 people that have been working behind the scenes this year and who have done an outstanding job and who have made this the success that it is for 2024. The first one is a resident who always comes in early and always gets set up so that the residents can watch the meetings in their residences on 1341. He's the camera operator, Charlie Bryan. 2 people who also get here early, and they're also they're distributing the door prizes tickets to you, so they're always here when you arrive. Please thank Carol Bryan and Sylvia Doles. They're in the back. A resident who wound up with a couple of jobs that she didn't think she was going to have, but when I realized that my mobility was a little bit problematic at the first meeting, I had to call on Barbara Smith, and Barbara then became I have the job of running the microphone around the floor for new people as well as for questions at the end. And she also wound up being the door prize deliverer. So thank you to Barbara. Now, two people who are really behind the scenes, because for the most part, you've never seen them in terms of what they do. And one of them is Jessica Burke. So, is she out here? Well, she's still behind the scenes. Okay, I'll introduce the other one, and maybe she'll show up. Every presentation we've had this year, except for this one, has had a PowerPoint presentation and with the screen and what have you, and somebody has to get that all set up. And the person who does that is Charles Coster. He comes in early for each meeting. He gets the audiovisual set up, and usually he hangs around to demonstrate to the presenters so they'll know exactly how all the audiovisuals work. So please give another hand to Charlie Coster. And Jessica? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and introduce her, but every time you've come, there's been some material in the seats. Most of that has been the presentations of the slide presentations or other materials. You've even got one today that we're going to talk about in just a moment. And all of those have been prepared for you and assimilated and distributed by Jessica Burke. Thank you, Jessica. Okay. Now you can get back to work. Now, one person I can't introduce today because she is not here, even though you've heard me mention her every time, and that's Vidya. Vidya has purchased on her own, not First Citizens, even though she works for First Citizens, but she has purchased on her own 20 door prizes that we have been giving out to these meetings all year long. Today, as you know, is Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a federal holiday. That means that banks are closed, so she's not working today, but she's using the opportunity to go visit with her daughter, and that's the reason she's not here. But if you go by that little First Citizens office, they're open. She's in there from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And stick your head in there and say, thank you so much. Even if you didn't win a door prize, please stick your head in there and say, thank you very much, because we want her to be able to be here next year and give us the door prizes next year as well. All right, the Cardinal Singers of Raleigh. Volunteer Women's Chorus, been singing together since 1981. They've sung at Springmore many times, including a Residents Association meeting 2 years ago in 2022. They always do a great presentation, and I have personally been eagerly anticipating today all year long. Director Elizabeth Beam, take it away.
All right, right there. Thank you. Well, we had to come in early because we don't move fast. How about you? So it takes us a little while to get situated. So we are glad to be here, especially on this important day, this Veterans Day, and you'll hear more about that later. We're going to start out with a flash and a bam, right? Orange Colored Sky. I can see Jenny. Oh, can everybody see? We like being here because we can see. Did you know that we're on TV? Yes. So people are in their rooms, that's right. There's always people have to wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flash! Bam! Alakazam! I was walking along, minding my business, when out of an orange colored sky. Flash! Bam! Alakazam! Wonderful you came by. I was walking along, drinking Thank you. Our next one, I think you may have heard before, and you may have heard Barbara Streisand sing it. This is People. And we like seeing all of you people. My goodness, you fill up a room and don't they look good? Oh, look really good today. Thank you. Here's a bug. Oh, there's a bug, lady. Well, after Barbara Streisand, how about a little Joni Mitchell? This is Both Sides Now.
Oh
Thank you, thank you. Well, we have a section here to get our minds going in the right direction here for Veterans Day. We're going to start with a song that we think you know. We would like you to join us. This land is your land. This land is my land. Ever heard of it? What do you got, 3? Well, just join in. You know, they can do fancy stuff, so they'll sing some fancy stuff at the beginning, and then we'll all just join in. So.
Elizabeth, before we get started, bring me.
Yes, Pat.
Excuse me for sitting. That's what I can do these days. We're so glad to see you. We've looked forward to coming. Can you hear me? If you can't, I can throw my voice a mile. And if I say now, class, you better settle down. Well, there was a young man who was a doctor, and he had a small practice, and he would have been a veteran. And Veterans Day was approaching, and he thought he deserved a little time off. He wanted to go fishing. And so he was trying to figure out what he was going to do with his afternoon patients. And he couldn't, his nurse had not shown up that day, so she couldn't cover for him. So he looked around and he saw Sean, who was the caretaker of the building, and he said, "Sean, you've seen me practice a lot, and do you think that you could fill in for me this afternoon so that I could celebrate Veterans Day by going fishing?" And he said, "Oh, sure, Doc, I got you covered." So the doctor took his time off and went fishing. Well, he came back in about 5 o'clock to check and see how things had gone. And he said, "Well, Sean, how did it go?" He said, "Well, it was a fairly quiet afternoon, Doc." He said, Susie McDermott came in, and she'd been bothered by headaches. And the doctor said, "Well, what did you tell her?" And he said, "I told her to go home, take 2 Tylenol, and try to get some rest." The doctor said, "You're right on the button with it, buddy. Thank you so much." He said, "And then what happened?" He said, "Well, Jane Whitmore came in, and she'd been complaining of just feeling kind of not good at her stomach." And he said, "Well, what did you tell her to do?" And he said, "I told her to go home." No, that wasn't what her trouble was. Sorry, back up. Back up. She had a sore throat. He said, "Well, what did you tell her?" And he said, "Well, I told her to go home and gargle with some water, warm water, and to put some salt in it. They'd be all right about the salt that time, and to gargle really well, and then try to get some rest." He said, "Sean, you're acing it. You're just doing great." And he said, "And then what happened?" He said, "Well, this woman came in that I had never seen before, and she hopped up on the exam table and said, 'I haven't laid eyes on a man or I haven't seen a man in 4 years.'" And he said, and the doctor said, "Oh, Sean," and he about had a heart attack. He said, "What did you do, Sean?" And Sean said, "Well, I told her to go home and use some eye drops." Life's a hoot. Try to find a laugh every day. And if Adrian Rogers is here, will you raise your hand? I taught her son, and I wanted to speak to her if she was here. Excuse me.
Well, I want to thank Kay Bullock for dressing today the way she did. Look at Kay, don't you? The first step is you have to have clothes that match us. We go back to when our girls were in kindergarten together. And so, yeah, so she knew how to dress. So this land is your land. This land is my land.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York
I think the next song is going to be familiar too. It is America the Beautiful. Many people think it should be the national anthem. Certainly is easier to sing. America the Beautiful. And you know the story about how this all came to be. Maybe you know a little bit about it. But Dr. Catherine Bates was a professor of English, East Coast, and she had a summer job in Colorado. So she gets on the train, and what does she see? You know what she sees. She sees spacious skies, amber waves of grain, purple mountains. So she describes her train trip. That's the first verse, ending in, God shed his grace on thee. Second verse is about pilgrim feet, all the people who made their way across and looking for new lives and all that they did across the wilderness. But the other part of this verse is that it was after the Civil War and the sting of all that had happened and how angry everybody was at everybody else and all the destruction and sadness. She said, God, mend thine every flaw, because there were a lot of flaws, and we still have a lot of flaws. And then confirm thy soul in self-control. Thy liberty is law. Something that we never need to forget. And then the third is about the patriot dream that just keeps going. All of us and those who come to our country. And you may hear Alabaster Cities gleaming. Did you know that was the World's Fair in Chicago, the first time that lights were people saw electric lights, so it looked like an alabaster city, and that they're undimmed by human tears. So America the Beautiful. Well, it is Veterans Day, and do we have veterans in the room? Any veterans? Okay. Well, we're going to sing to you, and we hope that we can honor you and thank you and show our gratitude for all you have done. And Molly, are you up here? You got some signs? When we get to your branch of service, would you raise your hand or stand, please? And here's a hint. We'll start with the Army, so the Army people can get ready. So you get ready to leap up. So we will do that, and we thank you. And also thank you to all the family members who supported all the veterans and kept things going at home. Oh, and where's Sharon? We have one Air Force, but any other Air Force people in here? All righty, well, of course, there's Mac. Yes, that's right. Well, so when you get to your time, just please stand or wave your hand if you want to. All righty, Army, you're ready. She'll hold up a sign. Can you read? That's right. I made it as big as I could fit it on the paper, so.
Over hill, over dale, we have lit the dusty trail as those caissons go rolling along. March right down, hear those wagons, soldiers
you. All righty, found my music here. Well, we've had Barbara Streisand, we have Joni Mitchell, so let's have a little Dolly Parton. This is Light of a Clear Blue Morning, and this is the most beautiful example of hope. You know, when you're just kind of, when everything's just, there's going to be a clear blue morning ahead. We hope.
It's been a long, dark night. I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight. But I see a brand new day dawning. I've been looking for the sunshine. 'Cause I ain't seen it so long. Everything's gonna work out fine. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. I can see the light, see
Well, you may not have as many commercials as we used to, now that we can stream things, but you're going to have commercials with us. We have a couple of dates we'd like to tell you about. First of all, if you happen to be in the mood to go downtown on December 12th, did I get it right? 12th? December 12th, we're singing at the Capitol. And so if you want to go in and walk around and see all the decorations, you'll hear us. You'll hear us. We'll be there at 10 o'clock. We would love to see you there. And then, as you know, we go out into the community like this all during the year, and then one time people come to us. This year, it will be April 13th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Highland United Methodist Church, the corner of Ridge Road and Lake Boone Trail, and it's free. So it's fun. And it's free, and get there and get a good parking space. We've got a lot of parking, so you won't have to worry about that, and it's a great place to take a busload of people. And just, if you have any questions, we have a connection here with Marlene. She's our handler when it comes to Springmore. So if you have any questions, but April 13th, we would love to see you. We will do some things that we hope you will enjoy. We'll have instrumentalists, and it's just, we just have fun, and we'd love to see you. So thank you, and we hope you have a grand Thanksgiving. And then the holiday season coming up, we hear it's coming, and it's galloping up on us pretty fast. So thank you for everything, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you. And as for you, Thursday, with all your Christmas music, we're going to be on the fast track starting Thursday. So, all righty. Well, thank you. Could you wait for one more, you think? May you always. Thank you. I had it here, now I forgot to do it. May you always. It's our little idea here of what we want to say. December 12th, April 13th, don't forget. Thank you, and I will see you all Thursday. That's right, be there or be square. Nobody wants to be square, right?
Thank you very much, Elizabeth, and thank you very much, the Cardinal Singers. We really appreciate your coming out and singing for us today, particularly since it was a holiday. It was a great performance. We've got a couple more items of business we need to take care of.
Okay.
So hang with us.
A couple more items of business. So, ladies, let's move on because they have business. Bye until next time. I think Jim has some secrets to tell you. Oh, you're just wanting the door prizes. Keep talking and nobody will get a door prize.
I thought that was you and I said your name.
Okay, just quickly, we got, as I say, a couple of more bits of business, and before we adjourn, in your seats today, you found a sheet that had some information about the Springmore Residents Association on one side and has all the committee chairs for 2025 on the other side. And I hope that you'll take this back to your apartments and take a look at this. All of you, because you are residents, you're automatically a member of the association. The association runs on committees, of which there are 20. And all those 20 committees are outlined with their chairs, are on one side, and a little bit of information about the association is on the other side. We want to, when Alan said how many of you are involved, and lots of you raised your hands, but there's some of you that didn't. There's nothing to say that you only can be on one committee, so we want you to look at this list of committees, see if there's something on there that interests you, and if so, contact that committee chair and volunteer for 2025. Some of the committees meet every month. Some of them meet every other month. Some of them meet once a year. One committee hadn't met since 2022, but that's the reason for that, because that's the Constitution and Bylaws Committee. You're normally appointed for a 3-year term, and we do try to make sure that we have good representation from North Village and South Village, from the houses and the villas, and we try to make sure we have some representation from the newer residents as well as the older residents. So take a look at this. If there's a committee on there that interests you, then you need to contact that committee chair. I would be completely remiss if I did not at this time recognize someone who has given us a tremendous amount of service. Talk about behind the scenes work. He's been working behind the scenes. He's been taking telephone calls. He's been going to committee meetings. He's been interrupted, I'm sure, many times at dinner. But Alan Page, please stand. And Alan has done this not for 1 year, but for 2 years. So he really deserves another hand of applause for the work that he's done. I'm going to just recognize these two because they're here, and that's not in my script, but I think all of you know them, but if you don't, you're going to get to know him. But Brad Dilday, who is our new executive director, and Jessica Pagan, who is our new assistant director. We certainly look forward to working with those two for the rest of this year, 2025, and many, many years to come, I'm sure. There is no program in December. The next program will be Monday, January the 13th, 2025. Can you believe I'm actually saying that? All right, Alan, let's do some door prizes. Let's get Jessica to draw one and get Brad to draw one.
Red or blue? Okay. Let's see what that number is and get in front of the microphone here. 026710.
Is that red?
Red.
Who was that?
026710. There's an orange in here.
What? We lost. We lost? We're just doing one? Oh, that's it.
Blue ticket.
What?
1480326. 326, over this way. Okay.
Sorry. I did my best.
Well, as we've already affirmed in both in my earlier comments and in Jim's comments, there'll be no December meeting. So we look forward to the holiday season. First of all, Thanksgiving, and then the holidays of December. And whether your light comes from the Star of David, the Star of Bethlehem, or some other cosmic star, may it shine brightly, and may your holiday be merry and bright. We adjourn. Thank you.